Okay, we back at y'all again with another Human Podcast episode with my good man.
It's Art Horn. Art.
What's your name?
Art Horn.
Alright, Quan.
Horn. Horn. H. Art, like drawing a picture. Art Horn.
Art Horn.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a cool ass name. I
Yeah.
thought my name was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had the good cookout. I got invited to. I would
Yeah.
talk to him, and I'm gonna get into these dogs too. But start me off, man. When was you born?
1954. July. It was real hot. My mom said it was real hot.
Okay.
Yeah. In Carolina.
Oh, so you're not from Virginia?
In Carolina.
You're not from Virginia?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
wow, wow.
Yeah.
So we currently in Virginia. So, what day is July?
July 31st. So I'm a Leo.
Okay, yeah, you're
I'm a
not a
Leo.
Cancer. I thought you was Cancer
Yeah.
gang, man. Unfortunately. You know your son the first Leo I get along with. One of the first.
Well, I look at Leo produced the Leo, because, so it's in the DNA.
Yeah.
You get along with me, Yeah.
Yeah.
And my father was a Leo.
Okay. Right.
Me, him, and my son, it's a 20-year difference. My father, if he hadn't passed, he would have been 88. I'm 68, and my son would have been 48.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's a 20-year difference in all of us. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting, man. So let me ask you, what was it like when you was growing up? Like late teenage years, 15, 16, 17, 19?
Okay. During that time, I worked down Carolina with my grandfather, and we used to do tobacco and stuff like that. And I used to go down there to make money for school, because back then you could, $300 would carry you a long way. You could save $300 for the summer. You can get a whole lot of outfits and stuff like that as a young guy, So coming up, I dealt with a lot of stuff, man. I listened to my grandfather. He used to go to the fishing hole a lot of times, and he used to always tell me watch myself. And my mom, she put trust in him because that was her dad, And going down there, man, I was doing stuff that city guys don't normally do. Driving tractors, hanging tobacco, behind the mule.
No, my daddy said my daddy a country boy.
Yeah, see,
From
so
out here. He said he was driving at 13.
yeah, but I was 14.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: when you do that type of thing like that, you learn how to not take nothing for granted. You know?
Saying,
Yeah.
what part of that made you think that?
Just looking at what my grandparents had and what I had in Richmond, Virginia. My mom and them was in Richmond, Virginia. So I'm looking at the two different areas, what was going on there and what was going on in Richmond. So my mom always raised us to have some type of structure. Like if you don't get it, ain't nobody gonna give it to you. Yeah. So that was my thing, So when I went down there to work, I was working to try to apply to some of the things I needed when I got back to the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, see, that's crazy. My grandpa and them owned tobacco farm and tobacco, watermelon farm, stuff like that in Lawrenceville, Virginia.
Okay.
So they did something the same thing, but I was gonna ask. You said your people did own the tobacco farm, right?
Well, they were, I hate to say this, but they was sharecroppers. And my granddaddy always talked about doing things on that land and he never got what he supposed to get as a sharecropper.
So like they finessed them?
Yeah. It was almost like
they paid him less than he was
yeah,
supposed to
he's supposed to got that. He was supposed to been working toward getting that profit, but he never got it.
So that's what my grandparents and them actually did, but we actually got the profit.
Yeah, but we never did. So later on in life, my family decided to move off their property because they didn't get the benefits they thought they were going to get from that, doing the sharecropping, like doing the peanuts, doing the tobacco, stuff like that on that land.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like when slavery was over, that was like a finessed slavery.
Well, yeah, in a way it was like still, it was over, but it gave some blacks false hope that if you do this, you're going to get this, and you never got it. you never got it. So my grandfather always told me that, some of the things that they had promised him, he never got, so he wanted me to apply myself so I could be better than him.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I do this for, so we can get the average person's story, what really human podcast. So the human man story, because you never know what your story can help someone else do.
Okay.
Your story may come out and help this person be better than you was.
Yeah.
But definitely me, for sure.
Oh yeah, because not taking stuff for granted was this. At age 13, I learned that you got up at 7 in the morning or 7 at night. And your work might have been more than what you was paid for, but you didn't let that influence you because you also had a purpose too. Although you were being shortchanged, you still was trying to apply yourself to do better for you, yourself and the family.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's what's up. I like that. So let me ask you this, because this is on my mind. What do the term 40 acres and a mule actually come from?
Well,
When you talk about stuff that was promised but never given.
Well, during the slavery, it was said that we, after slavery, with the proclamation and all that, Lincoln did all that. It was saying that we were going to get 40 acres and a mule, and to me, it shouldn't have got to that point. It should have been to a point like this, whereby all y'all become citizens and y'all had the same rights as the people that was suppressing you. So the 40 acres and a mule was just a front. That's something we never got. Every time we applied ourselves, every time they gave us property to do something, when we saw us progressing, they would come in and destroy that. Like Alabama, like burning Alabama, Black Wall Street. Every time they gave us, I hate to say this, every time they gave us crumbs, we made the best of the crumbs, and we applied ourselves to the fullest. We even made land that wasn't fertile. We made it fertile so we can grow crop on it and be prosperous with that. In Oklahoma, we also own over 60 blocks. That was the first Wall Street.
Yeah.
That was the first Wall Street. And that we had business people, we had our own business. If you look at that now, we don't even have none of that.
Yeah.
We have none of that. So I feel like this as I hate to say brown or black person, we always had that knowledge, but it was always something to cut us off.
Yeah.
It was always something to cut us off. Because we came from kings and queens in Africa. So we always had that intellect. But my thing is this, if you control a group of people, you limit how much they grow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how you think that play into like today's fight? With like today, I think they had the reparations march. Today, let's mark. That's November 6, 2022.
Okay.
They just had the reparations march today, I believe.
Okay. It's almost like, I feel like this, we had that reparation march, but America knows that black people had a lot of input in the building of this country. And if they decided to pay us reparation, if they decide to pay us, they would become bankrupt for the stuff, the knowledge they took from us. Because a lot of stuff they took from us, we didn't have no control of that. Like we patterned this type of machine, we patterned that machine, but they got the credit for it.
Yeah,
so
like
all
the
the
GPS,
wealth,
black women
all
created
the
GPS
wealth,
system.
yeah. So look at, you can't put no price on that.
Yeah.
You can't put no price on that. See, because if we look at how this stuff was done, it's like, if we was the workers, we was the inventors.
Yeah.
If you had me clean a room every day, and I had to sweep that carpet, I invented the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
If it got dark early, I had to do something with the light. So I'm saying, the workers invented things, not the people that were suppressing them. It was the people that worked, to make their job easy,
Okay.
So to me, to pay us, it's not an amount you could put on that. It's not an amount you could put on that.
Yeah.
You don't have a, you don't have a number to that. You don't have a number to that. Because some of us did more, so they would deserve more.
Yeah.
Some of us might have did less, so we deserve, that might fit right in what they offering us. But some people did more. It's like the lady, they took her DNA and used it
Yeah.
without her family permission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What she worth? You know what I'm saying? What she worth?
Billions.
In the medical field, they use her DNA to save people not of color, but all races
Yeah.
with her DNA
Yeah.
without the family permission.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what figure I could put on that. You know,
So you leaning more towards like priceless.
it's priceless.
You couldn't really
It's
put a price
priceless. It's
on it.
priceless. Well, okay, even the people that helped build the streets in D.C., our ancestors. You know, what type of price what can you give them? They did the whole outline of the D.C. area. There's no price.
Yeah.
You know, there's no price. You know, I don't know how they could do this to make up to black and brown people in America because there's no price you can put on it. We did some of everything
Yeah.
to lift this country up.
Yeah.
We even fought in their wars.
Yeah.
We even fought in the Civil War.
Yeah.
We had the Buffalo Soldiers. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so much stuff we did.
Yeah.
You know, so the price I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's interesting to touch on, man. So, to kind of sway away from that, like, what did you do, like, growing up? Like, let's say mid-20s.
Okay, in the 20s, I started out, I finished high school.
What high school?
George Webb.
Okay.
Yeah, George Webb, right over.
Yeah, shout out George Webb.
South Vision, Bulldogs, the close-knit community.
Yeah.
The PTA was nice. Family members knew each other.
Yeah, and
I
then
walk
what years
home.
was these?
It was in 72.
Okay, the
In
70s.
72, I would go walk home from football practice, but wouldn't even get shot at.
Yeah.
How you doing, Mr. Jones? How you doing, Mr. Brown?
Yeah.
It was close-knit.
Yeah.
You know, even the Booster Club was parents. There was a Booster Club. You go in there to get a hot dog. How you doing, Mr. Jones? How you doing, Mr. Brown? Everybody was close-knit.
Yeah.
So what I did out of high school, because I saw some things going on in America, I did 2 term papers. One of them was racism in America, and one was discrimination in housing. And my English teacher wanted to know that I have a brother in college because it was so in-depth. The papers were so in-depth when I did the racism in America and discrimination in housing. And that was in 72, and it's still going on in 2022.
Yeah.
You know? So doing that, I applied myself because my father was a good image for me. He was from Carolina. He came here with limited education. He worked at E.G. Bowl. There was a construction company that did 95, the highway.
Okay.
Then he left there and went to Philomon. So my dad told me, his name is Arthur Sr. He told me, he said, you know, man, it's a good job. They got good benefits and all that. So when I went in there to apply for the job, the dude was a white dude, and me and him, we hit it off right. When I told him I played football, he said, I played football for Wolf too, the guy that interviewed me.
Yeah.
He said, well, man, do you want the job? I said, yeah, I want the job. I said, he said, you want to work with your father? I said, yeah. I said, my dad had said it was good benefits, it was a good company. And that was 1972, August 22nd, 1972. So I went on and got the job. And I went there and I started out on Main Street. Main Street was 20th Street. Now that's apartments. Through the regentrification, the plant became the apartments now. So when I was there, I had some run-ins with people because at that time, people don't know, Philomon had a black brick area and a white brick area. They also had a white water fountain and a black water fountain when I got hired in 72. So by me being 18...
And was segregation done? It was supposed to be done, abolished by this time?
No, but some companies still was...
But it was supposed to be
Yeah, but
abolished
still,
by this time. Okay.
you know,
Yeah,
so
okay.
if you went in there, it was new to you. You're like, damn, you know, they doing this. So I tried to play it off because my mom always told me it's about the job, not about the people. So one day I decided, I said I'm gonna take a break. I want like, why everybody taking a break? I can't take a break. I was 18. So I took a break. I had this white supervisor say, hey boy, as long as you work here, boy, don't never let this happen. If this happen again, boy, you gonna be looking for another job. So I called Mom. I said, Mom, I can't take this. I ain't gonna be able to work here. I'm not gonna be able to work here. So what I did to take the pressure off of me, I went to the board and changed shift. I signed for another job on another shift. And that's how I survived because I couldn't deal with that. At 18 and, I already done worked there in Carolina and down Carolina I almost got ran down on the highway. Then I'm in a updated manufacturing center. The guy called me boy. So my mom said, it's gonna get better. I said, you know what? I know it's gonna get better because I'm not gonna put up with that. So I went up and signed up for B Shift. From B Shift, I stayed on B Shift for 13 years until my son started playing football. And I signed up for day work so I can see him play football. So I go to all his games and stuff like that. So even in the process of that, it was still like different little run-ins, with the other race. But I won't raise like that because my job was about trying to get mad. I had a family outside the job. That was my main. That what kept me going. When you know you got a family outside the job, it keeps you going, regardless of what you're dealing with. So I did that, and I saw him. I went to all his games, me and my wife. Then during that time, I had been there maybe 20 years at Philip Morris.
Yeah.
So this white guy came to me. He said, look, Art, I hate to tell you this, but this is what he said. He said, I'm next in line. He said, but I can't read that well. And they're going to ask you, do you want this computer job? You next in line. So I didn't believe him. So I'm standing out there in the front of the bay. And they pull up in a little dolly, like a little truck, like a golf cart. So we got a position in a new bay. And want to know if you want to work it. And it was really up to date and stuff. Everything was computerized. So I wound up getting the job. And I stayed back there for about 8 years. I was a team facilitator back there. And they gave me clearance to get on the machines, to see what bays were working different, what production they was running, what the defects was, who was running low, who was running high. And I got along with the people. And I went to this one white guy. I was on his machine. And you know what he told me? He said, I don't see people like you all the time. And I was telling him, look, it's not about me, it's about the machine. We're trying to get the production up. I said, my name is Art, and I'm here just to help you get the production up on this machine. And the production, that means it could be electrical problem, it could be mechanical problem. And I enjoyed it. Every time the auditor came, well, I'm gonna put my name Art on it. So, cause I knew I was up to date on everything. I can go into the computer. If we found a bad product, what's the layout for finding a bad product? If we find something foreign matter in the tobacco, what's the layout? So I knew all of that. So I enjoyed it, but I just got burned out because to me, you got a machine that's running 1 million packs a minute, a day, 1 million packs a minute. Then you got other people you trying to feel them and find out what their problems is. So I got kind of burned out.
Okay, I understand. I understand. So shit, let me ask this. What do you say is 5 things you learned from working at that company? All up, because you spent 20 years there?
30 years, 8 months.
Jesus. Good job. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, 30 years, 8 months, man.
That's work ethic right
there.
there.
Yeah, 30 years, 8 months.
Yeah, what's 5 things you learned from working that job?
I learned that, you got to come in regardless of whatever your situation is and be you. Some people you're going to be able to gravitate to, some you're not. The third thing is you always put family first. If you put family first, you got a purpose for being there.
Yeah.
Then you tell yourself this, the people that I was around, everybody had some type of knowledge, but it was on who you was around to pick up the knowledge. It could have been negative knowledge, it could have been positive knowledge, but most of the people I was around was positive. That's why I survived, because I gravitated to positive people, that people were trying to grow, they were trying to apply themselves. And the last thing I learned was that, I purchased couple of cars while I was working there. I bought my first house. Now I rent that out. I got a second house. And I learned that if you apply yourself, whatever your dream is not everybody else's dream. So you gotta stay focused on your dream, what your dream is. Everybody's dream ain't the same. So I didn't care long as I was doing the things I had to do to try to keep myself in line with what I was trying to do. And the last thing I learned that if you ain't got it in 30 years or 8 months, you won't get it. And I wanted to spend some time with my mom and family now. I left at 49, man. I was 49 years old when I left. I wasn't gonna wait till they tell me I gotta do 55 years or I gotta be 62, because that's not promised to you. You know, I said my thing is this: if I can leave early, I can give some of my youth back to my mom. I give some of my youth back to my family. And then by me leaving, I can give a job to somebody like you, a younger person. They can start off where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So see, they need to start off somewhere. So when I left, man, I gave a gap. I had a pad, and I used to take notes of stuff that happened and didn't happen on the machinery. You know, we had a manual we should read, and that manual was supposed to apply to that machine. But I used to keep my own personal notes. Had a pad, I gave it to the guy, so you're gonna have some run-ins, and that ain't in the book. I said, I'm gonna get some notes. When I saw that guy about 4 years after I retired, he said, man, that book was right, man. Your notes, the notes you had took, man, they helped me. Dude named Billy, he said, man, them Jones helped me, man. You know, because stuff that won't, see, you can have knowledge, but at the same time, if you don't do a hand-on thing.
I always say it's experience.
Yeah, if you don't do a hand-on thing, you won't see it.
You can learn how to ride a bike, but it's a difference having experience.
Yeah. You might fall the first time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, my first time riding the bike, I fell. I was in a play in elementary school.
For real.
And we were doing a play on a compound. We were doing stuff on a wedge, a wheel, a wheelbarrow, axle. We were doing that. And I never forget it. I never had rode a bicycle. And I came in on the stage. I said, I have a bicycle. And I fell off the bike. And it had wheels. And it turned by an axle. Everybody was laughing like they were part of the thing, but I fell off it. I also did this, had a fishing rod. I said, I also have a fishing rod. It did also have axle. And the weight went out. And the people like, they took it, and they thought that was part of it, but it won't. I didn't know, you know. And I never forget that stuff that stayed to me.
Yeah.
That stayed with me. That stayed with me. And that was simple stuff. Like we were dealing with a wedge, the axle, on seesaw, all that simple stuff, you know, and that stayed with me.
So let me ask this while we on that, because when I went down my grandparents' house, the ones I talk about that got the land through sharecropping and whatnot, I looked through their yearbook. Her yearbook, she probably graduated in like the 60s or something.
Okay.
You know, and when I look at that, they have like trade classes. Like that's a big debate. Like how we in school now we teach art, math, and stuff like that. But back when I look in her yearbook, they teach welding.
Yeah.
Auto mechanics, stuff that you like fixing your home, stuff that is used every day.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up, because the schools now got a thing called SOL, all right?
Yeah.
They call it standards of learning, all right?
Yeah.
I call it standards of losing.
Yeah.
And my purpose for saying that is this: everybody's not college material.
Yeah.
So if you can get people to do hand-on jobs, I'm glad you said that. Trade. A lot of people have gift in certain things, but it's on their counselor to drive them to their strength. See, most of us as black people, we work good with our hands. You know, everybody can't go and get a degree in college. Some people good in math, they can do bricklaying. Some people are good with electrical stuff.
Yeah.
Some people are good with carpentry. That's like
That
with
was
me.
one of the class photos in her book.
Yeah.
What they call it? Bricklaying. It's a
Yeah,
word
yeah,
for it.
yeah. And see,
I don't know
no,
if
they
it's
call it
masonry.
brickwork, masonry.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
my thing is this: if we can guide our kids to their strength, not to what you want them to do, to what their strength is. Just like my wife. I hate to tell you this. My wife called me MacGyver.
Yeah.
And my reason for being MacGyver is because I'll work on a deck. I might change my own electrical socket.
Yeah.
I might work on my own car, put plugs in it.
Yeah.
I might put my own water pump on.
So let me ask this, man, while you right there. What you got to say? What's a piece of advice you got to say to them young boys like myself, who, man, unfortunately technology has went so far, I don't need to change a tire.
Uh-huh.
What you got to say to them young boys that don't know how to change the tire?
Well,
We don't know how to
well,
where to put the water fluid in the car.
well,
You feel
I'll
me?
put it like this. As a man, if you learn the basics, the rest of it will fall in place. That's a basic. Changing a tire is a basic. If you got a woman, you can't change the tire. Come on, man.
Yeah.
All you do is jack the car up and take the lugs off, make
Yeah.
sure it's safe. You know, here go. I feel bad if another woman said I had to get another guy to jack my girl car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The small stuff. We gotta learn the basics.
Yeah.
The basics is this. Let's say this. Like I told my wife, let's say if the tower go down and you can't connect your phone to the tower, you cannot depend on the phone. This is the biggest hard drive you got here.
Yeah.
This is the biggest hard drive you got right here.
Yeah.
This right here operates the phone. The man operates the phone.
Yeah.
So if you got some type of connection here, it's like with me. My motto is this. I'm gonna try it first because you know what? A man gonna do it. If I got a problem, another man gonna do it. If another man can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
That's my motto. I done pulled a toilet seat and I got 2 toilets over there now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take one in that pink bathroom and pull that one up. All you gotta do is have the proper material.
Yeah.
So learn the basics. As a young man, learn the basics. If you learn the basics, all the other stuff can be irrelevant. You gotta start at the basics. Like changing a tire, putting antifreeze in your car, changing the oil in your car. Let's say they got circuit breakers now. Knowing what amp, a fuse, you put in the fuse box and the fuse blow. You know what I'm saying? That's small stuff. With electricity, you got, I'm not an electrician, you got alternating current, you got direct current. You know what I'm saying? So with that, my thing is this, if I got direct current, I'm cutting the power off. If I gotta change the switch, shit, I'm shutting it down. I know ain't no current going through it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I got alternating power, even though I got it off, it might still be a surge in there. See what I'm saying? So you might need a tester for that. You know, so we gotta learn the basics, man. The basics. And a lot of guys, to me, they feel like they ain't gotta learn it because somebody else can do it for me. But they don't know if they can learn it themselves, there's more money they save for themselves. Like I could change like right here. On my truck, I changed the water pump, I changed the radiator. My wife was talking to one of her girlfriends one day. It was cold as shit. We can say that.
No, you can say that.
Yeah, but I laid it on a piece of cardboard. When her and her friend came out, I said, I'm gonna run around here and get some antifreeze. I'll be right back. See, you put it in already. That's a radiator. I'm not a mechanic, but it's just that you gotta get into that vibe. I can do it.
Yeah, that frequency.
I gotta
we
do
like
it.
to talk.
I can
Yeah.
do it. I can do it. Cause the next man gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's real.
The next man gonna do it.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah, the next man gonna do it. You ain't gonna take it to no machine. You gonna take it to a guy.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my thing. The more you learn, the better off you're gonna be in life.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna
Yeah. So let me ask this. what do you got to say about like? Because I know it's a lot of people that be like, man, I'm in the hood. I'm worrying about getting shot at. I ain't got time to learn how to do an oil change or this and that. What you got to say about to them kids that want to get out the hood but feel like they stuck in the streets?
Well. My thing is this. My thing is this, that we our own man. Like you. I can't change you. I can't, and I don't look for you to change me. But I'm my own man. But we have to set a purpose. And we have to tell ourselves, look, do I want to be doing this 5 years from now? Do I want to be doing this 10 years from now? What do I want to be doing? So, let's say, right now, I've got shooting around me. But I'm still applying myself. If I was a young guy right now, then my thing would be, give me a job to try to invest in some property. If I was a young dude, stop shooting at each other. Connect, start a buying property. And then, if you can get a little good brotherhood, you got a guy that do electrical work, you got to do carpentry work, get your money that way.
Yeah.
You got a guy do plumbing. All y'all can still get paid.
Still on?
You still alone?
Yeah, all y'all still get paid, but they ain't got to be as shooting at each other.
Well, come back here.
Do it the right way. Everybody got to know what you're doing. Do it the right way. If I was the young guys right now, put the guns there, get a decent job, and start applying yourself toward property, showing your kids that this is the route we need to go. This is the route we need to go. Get some property. If you had to live in it, at least you got a house for your family. If you don't live in that line, you can move on to the next one. Or get you a group of guys where you can connect and make that money. You got a plumber, he can do it. You got a carpenter, he can do it. Do roof work, electrician. And stop shooting at one another, because my thing is this, when you shooting at each other, it's a lack of respect for yourself. My thing is this, how can you kill a guy and go to our house the next day? How can you kill a guy and you eat at breakfast and like you ain't did nothing? You done took somebody's life, you done broke somebody's family up, you done broke a dream up. You don't know what this guy's purpose was. You might have had a run-in with him, but you don't know what his purpose was. He might have a good purpose, so that purpose dies.
Yeah.
So when that purpose dies, his family dies.
Yeah.
So stop shooting at one another, because, hey, I hate to say that, but that's another jump or the Willie Lynch jump. Let's take each other out. The lights taking out the dogs, the house nigga taking out the field nigga. It's Willie Lynch. We gotta stay focused. What is our purpose? When I get up in the morning, I ain't worried about shooting at me, because I ain't gonna do nothing fucked up, because I'm looking at it like this. I'm trying to be at 90 degrees with myself. If I'm true to myself, I can be true to you. I can be true to the next person. But if I'm walking sideways, I'm doing shit fucked up, I ain't got my shit straight, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you because I'm not at 90 degrees. 90 degrees is being true to yourself. You can come on the porch, you can go in your driveway, ain't nothing gonna happen to you because you're true to yourself. And when you're true to yourself, you can always give out true information.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be false, it's gonna be true. Cause I'm gonna look at you the way I'm looking. They're like, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
I'm 6'8" now. I'm gonna give you some knowledge because you're trying to get to 6'8".
Yeah.
I'm gonna be true to you. I'm gonna tell you, hey, if you bullshit, I'm gonna tell you bullshit. If you need to do this, you need to do this. Because somebody was there for me. See, my daddy told me this. He said, I'm about to give you shit. You better get out here and get it yourself. And it wasn't about no gun or standing on no corner. It's about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's about doing the right thing. My dad always did the right thing. He might have a little small house on the side, but he went to work first.
Yeah.
He went to work first. And he had 7 kids that he took care of. And he told us about the street, because the street ain't nothing in the street. Because he didn't hang in the street. He did what he had to do. He always came home to take care of his family. You got to apply yourself. As a black man, we got to apply ourselves. We got to stay focused on what we trying to do. What you trying to do might be completely different from me. But you don't want to lose focus. Because sometimes you get the wrong people and you can lose focus. See, because everybody ain't in the same thing that you trying to get. This is like, you ever seen this? Gratification for you ain't gratification for me. You got one guy, he might wake up every morning, drink a fucking 40, and all day long, he think that's it.
Yeah.
I might get up every morning and say, look, I'm gonna do this. I gotta do something else constructive. I got a layout of what I'm doing that day.
Yeah.
And that keep me in a positive vibe. You know, I only have no watch. I only have no watch on. I keep it with time. I try to keep it with time. I look at the date. If you're doing something a day and you're applying it the right way and the stuff you want to do, you keep it with time. You ain't gotta have a watch. You ain't gotta have a watch. You ain't gotta have a watch. Because you already know you move with time. I'm trying to do the right. This is what I gotta do right here. This is what I gotta do right here. I don't have time for the nonsense. If somebody come to me, I might go to the store. Somebody say, hey, yo, Slim, can you do this? Give him. I said, oh, shit, I ain't got time for this. I just came here to the store to do this. He wasting my time. You know, he might get mad at me because I'm going to give him some advice. I might ask him what his name is, what you doing. Look, I might buy you a sandwich, but don't be out here every day. Don't do this every day, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I am. Don't do this every day. You know, because you can't grow like that. You can't grow like that.
Okay, so then you took me up through there, but shit, let's switch gears a little bit. What you married right now, right?
Yeah.
How long you been married?
Okay, I was 28 when I got married. 40 years.
40 years. Jesus, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
They ain't 40 years in a
Another
mule.
chunk. Yeah.
They ain't 40 years of life. You know what I'm saying?
So, when y'all met each other, how old was you?
We met each other. I might have been about 23. She might have been about 22. And I was kind of athletic. I played basketball. I played football.
Okay.
I rode bikes. And I was riding with this dude.
Yeah.
And we said we're gonna ride. And we played basketball. So I rode over Church Hill,
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
what's the code?
Huh?
What's the phone code? I interrupted Joe for the phone code. What's the phone, Joe? I mean,
1954.
all right.
And
That's one.
she was on the porch with another guy and her two sisters. And the guy stopped by there and I wanted some water. And she said that,
I'm listening.
man, what really drew her attention, I wasn't acting like a fresh dude, yo, what's your name, short, and all that. I just was just there for some water. I just want some water.
Mm-hmm.
So she ran.
So
and-
you won't thirsty is what they call it now.
Yeah,
No,
you know, so
okay.
she went and got some water for me. And I drank the water, and the guy that was on the porch with them, he hugging all three of them like he don't want me to send them out the way to him. And that was my purpose. My purpose was to get some water and ride back to the south side. So later on, one of the sisters that was on the porch used to work with me. She told me, she said, my sister wants your number. And we started talking. She called me. And then I was like, I'm concerned, you know, because I'm like, I don't need nothing to kind of hold me up right now. I got a job, I'm doing the right thing, you know. So she called me, and I told her, all right. We just started talking. Then I ain't even tell her I was going to a party.
Mm-hmm.
Then me and her at the same party.
Mm-hmm.
She said, there go that guy again. So we started talking from there.
Mm-hmm. You made the beat somehow.
Yeah, you know, it won't, I was trying to make no move on her or nothing like that. And she said, you know what, you were laid back, you were real manable.
Yeah.
And she said, even at the party, you were laid back and manable. You know? And she said, at the party, one of her girlfriends would try to get her to talk to another guy. She said, no, I ain't thinking about him, looking at him, because I was kind of laid back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of laid back. My dad always told me, when you go somewhere, always check your surroundings. And I was kind of laid back. And that's what gravitated her to me. And me and her went to some clubs and stuff like that. You know, come back to my place. She messed all up, wasted. I just tell her to go ahead and sleep with your clothes on, stuff like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that. She said, you know what, you a decent dude. You know, we just kicked it off like that. Then I like some of the things she liked. We'll go to the maid show, we'll go to concerts, stuff like that. And at that time I was puffing too, you know. So we were doing things that we liked.
Mm-hmm.
She had a son, I had a son. We had went through we were almost at the same situation going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we never argued. And what really made me gravitate to her was my job paid more than hers. And I had wrecked my car. And she told me this. She said, "You take and drive my car. I'll catch the bus."
Damn.
And that made me, you know.
That made you say the same thing.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah, you know.
Yeah.
She's a good girl.
Men love that,
She's
bro.
a good girl. She was saying, "You make more than me." It wasn't about what I was making. But she was just telling me, "You can drive my car." And then some days, I'll get around with somebody, she'll pick me up. You know what I'm saying? And it was like that. We were just being for real with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 40 years of being
Being
real.
friends first.
Huh?
Being friends first.
Yeah.
I like that. So you say you had a child before.
Mhm.
Okay, so tell me about that. How that started with your first baby mama.
We met through my job on 20th Street,
Okay.
and my mom didn't really go for it. You know, cause I'm going over a girl house. She got her own place.
What was the age difference?
That's 2 years.
Okay, you was older.
She was older,
Okay.
had her own place and stuff like that. So we just took to each other, you know, through the job. And my mom said, "Oh, you ain't come on tonight." So I, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here. So they think I know she was expecting. So my mom said, "I told you, you know."
How old were you?
Let me see. Okay.
When you had your first baby? How old were
Okay, let me see. 28. Yeah. It might have been 28,
you? Okay.
28, 27, something like that. Yeah. So, and that was it, you know. And then she just, from there, we just started trying to do what we got to do to make things work.
Okay, so let me ask, when did that start falling apart?
Okay, you ever seen, her sister was older than her. She had two sisters older than her. And they used to like to party. But I was like a family, like, yeah, you know, I done made this baby, and I gotta stay right here and do what I gotta do. I'm a man. My dad used to tell me, you know, you gotta man up, you know. You did this, you got. So her sister and family had her thinking that she was missing out. So she wanted to run too. So I always said this, I always told her this. I said, "You laughing now, but I'm gonna have the last laugh." And one time I came home and all my stuff was in the hallway. I said, "Well, no, I ain't gonna put up with this." And I was like buying cars, working 2 jobs, buy a car for her, buy one for me. It just wasn't meant. I had to let go. Sometimes you had to let go.
So what would you say you learned from that relationship? Give me three things you learned from that relationship.
Sometimes you get with the wrong people, and sometimes you give all, but if it's not the right person, it's gonna be one-sided. If it's not the right person, and then regardless of the situation, you still gotta take care of your child. Them are the 3 things I learned from that. Regardless of the situation, you gotta take care of your child.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so with this with your wife now, what would you say y'all biggest fights have been through? Not personal fights, but like the things y'all had to battle together.
It's to me, it's just that you want, family-wise, you want everybody to be accepted, regardless to whatever the situation. Like my family might not like her. They might like my son people. But I told her, we gotta live for us. It's not about them, my family. It's not about my family. Me and her gotta let it go. I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do for my child, but we gotta learn. And our biggest, we never had an argument, but our thing was that I know certain people in your family don't like me. But I told her that, you married me, you didn't marry the family. And that's how we'll keep it going.
Yeah.
We'll keep it going like that. You married me, not the family. It's about me and you, not about everybody else.
Yeah.
I say it's gonna be ups and downs. I said at the same time, while they not liking you, life is still moving on. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes if I take time out to worry about who don't like me or what ain't going on right, it's taken away from my time, our time. You know, so we learned that it's about us. We got married. We didn't marry the family. When we did the ring thing with me and her, you know what I mean? And we don't have too many arguments at all, none. See, 'cause I'm laid back. I'm gonna listen to you, and you gonna listen. That's why we got together. We almost on the same page. She'll listen to me, I'll listen to her. I ain't never swung at her, she ain't never swung at me.
Yeah.
You know, and then we just keep it like that.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, we keep it like that for 40 years. Just like she'll say, when we do something like a bill or something, let's say somebody come in here and say, we got a home improvement thing going on, all that. And they might meet her. You know what she tell them? Hold up, I gotta holler at him first. You know what I'm saying? I gotta holler at him. We do this together. You know, that's what keeps us going, man. You know, and then we try to be an image for the young people. You know, we want to be an image for young people. We want them to do what we did. You know, that's what it's about. You know, life is short, and you got to take and make yourself happy every day. And you know, with a marriage, both people got to be on the same page. They got the same, like, man, we call that a Bonnie Clyde. We were younger. Yeah, we partied, we did this, we did that. Then we laid back and try to give it to the young people.